silent treatment is it's a very common thing. Everybody knows what it is. I think women are just born knowing it. I don't think you're taught it. I don't think it's like my mom did it and her mom. It's an instinct that's in us all, that we all just know. And here's what made me think of that. I rewatched the movie Sixth Sense. And I'm not trying to do a Sixth Sense joke. This is a 20-year-old movie. I also have to spoil it, but it's 20 years old. So if you don't know by now, I don't know what to tell you, and don't be like, we're going to watch it tonight. We're going to go to Blockbuster on the way home so he's dead the whole time. And I don't know. That's, if you haven't seen it, it's a pretty big part of it. But for those that have, think about when you watched it. When we all saw this movie for the first time, none of us knew he was dead. That was the biggest surprise we've ever seen in our life, We just thought his wife wasn't talking to him for like a year. That made more sense to us than him possibly being dead. As a guy, we don't have any of that. What do we play Fort? You got to keep everybody out of where you are, especially girls. The only toys we had were Transformers and Ninja Turtles. Those are not even real things. None of them had wives. They weren't married. I never played with my Ninja Turtles, and I had them going to fight Shredder. And then Michelangelo was like, hey, can y'all give me 2 seconds? My wife just showed up, and she looks furious about something. What do you want from me? And she's like, what are y'all doing? What's that April skank doing here? You're like, listen, she's a reporter. Here's what I'm doing for, my daughter's future environment is what I decided to do. They say we won't have water. So I put a bunch of buckets outside to collect water. And when she turns 18 and she's like, do I get money? I'm like, something a little better than money. Bet you've always wondered what those buckets were doing outside. Well, they're all yours. And that's for your kids and their kids. Everybody gets a bucket of water. No, look, guys, all seriousness, though, global warming, we gotta stop it. Or more of it. I don't really know which way we want to go, but it can't stay warmer. I know that. It's got to be one or, something's got to happen. Something can't stay where we're at. So go, I don't know what direction you want me to, just go. She had no awareness about her, the senses that dogs have. Our daughter would put birthday cone hats on her, and one slipped over her eye, and it was like that for 6 hours. I was just trying to see how long, how's it accidentally not coming off? And she was just going about her day, just eating, drinking, I can't see all that eye no more, all right? That's the cards I was dealt, and that's okay. And then I pulled it off of her, and she's like, oh, I didn't know you were a doctor. And I'm like, I am a doctor. Just two dumb animals talking to each other. Look, the it's getting very advanced. I've been to a dog bakery. I've been to a dog bakery in my life. I went in there, and no one was in there. The lady was looking at me like, are you here to buy this store for me? That was her only hope. She said her and her husband bought the store for their 27-year-old daughter who graduated from college with a degree and came out of college and said, I want to own a dog bakery. I want to make cakes for dogs. Which if I asked my 6-year-old what she wants to do when she grows up, I think she'll tell me she wants to make cakes for dogs. And I'm going to tell her that she can do whatever she wants to do, hoping she doesn't turn 27 and go, let's talk about those cakes for those dogs. I wanted to play college basketball. That didn't work out. It didn't work out because I got cut every year from my high school basketball team. So I had to play for my church because the church cannot cut you. They have to let you play, which is nice. That's a good, I guess they could cut you. You'd be pretty bad if they're like, look, we think you're good, but Jesus does not think you're that good. Yeah. He is our captain. So our DJ was awful, and that's because we got my mom to hire the DJ. I don't know who thinks to ask someone in their 50s for DJ recommendations. No one ever is like, Mom, were you in with the local DJ scene by any chance? She hired someone older than her He just had CDs, and this was when computers were doing real good. He got super drunk, played the same song 3 times in a row. White Wedding, which he said was by Billy Joel. He only had one leg, seriously, and that's fine, you know. No one. So they wanted us to be prepared for it. What they did was, like, you know, you always hand out flyers if a kid goes missing. They put a picture of the kid and all the information below the flyer, so the height, weight, eye color, all that stuff. So instead of making a flyer, what they made us do was we wrote on a piece of paper our name, height, weight, eye color, and then we just held it up against the wall, and they just took a picture of us. We already have one made, which if we would have been kidnapped, my parents would be in prison right now. No one's going to believe you pre-took pictures. I mean, they're going to just look at this and be like, all right, just tell us where the kids are at. That would be the easiest thing to do. I've never seen this ever. I went to career day for my daughter's school, and I get what I do is very fun. But I was nervous because I'm there with real people, and they're smart. And so I was hoping to sit at a table alone. They put me at a table with a surgeon, which I think they did it on purpose. Almost to show the kids, here's the difference between reading. So the kids like come up, you know, and they're like, what subjects do you use for comedy? And I don't even know what the subjects they're taking. I was like, I do English. I do mostly English on stage. They asked him, how long do you go to school to be a surgeon? You know, and he's like 54 years or whatever. It's like and they asked me, they're like, how long to be a comedian? I was like, you're good now. So, look, finish elementary school, make your parents happy, but then I'd get out and get after it. My dad is a magician. He's done that my entire life. He was a clown at the very beginning, just in case you're like, how do you get into something like that? He goes clown and magic. There's 2 steps. You can take them in either order. I was born, he was a clown. It was never weird to me. I thought everybody's dad was a clown. My first memory of my life is I was 5 years old, and I remember my mom walked me out to the front yard, and my dad pulled up with this old red Mazda. He's dressed as a clown. That doesn't even faze me. That's just how he left. How else would he come home? And the Easter Bunny was in the passenger seat. That's the first thing that I remember to my life. If you want to know how you get into comedy, that's a pretty good nudge. And I remember it didn't fit, the Easter Bunny head didn't fit in the car, like he couldn't sit normal. So his head was bent to the side. And I remember he had his seatbelt on, and he's just like, and I was like, I like to think about all the other people that saw that just in the car next to him, just at a red light. You're like, I didn't even know they hung out like that. Look, the it's getting very advanced. I've been to a dog bakery. I've been to a dog bakery in my life. I went in there, and no one was in there. The lady was looking at me like, are you here to buy this store for me? That was her only hope. She said her and her husband bought the store for their 27-year-old daughter who graduated from college with a degree and came out of college and said, I want to own a dog bakery. I want to make cakes for dogs. Which if I asked my 6-year-old what she wants to do when she grows up, I think she'll tell me she wants to make cakes for dogs. And I'm going to tell her that she can do whatever she wants to do, hoping she doesn't turn 27 and go, let's talk about those cakes for those dogs. So in our neighborhood, we live in a cul-de-sac, which is very exciting because I grew up on a straight street and I always dreamed of living in a cul-de-sac. You see them and you're like, can you imagine being up in one of those? We do all the cul-de-sac stuff, you know, like if anybody comes down there, we're like, what are you doing down? Just any car, we're like, you better get out of our cul-de-sac. We take our trash out one of the days. I don't know the day, but it's a day. We do it. There is one day. I know we forgot to take it out a couple weeks ago. That stress could break up a family. All week was like, everybody eat out of your hands. We had friends over like, put your trash in your pockets, take it to your homes. I went to Honduras, another place cause I was at the airport and the guy was like, I was like, I'm going to Honduras. He was like, what city? And I was like, I'm just learning right now that's not the name of the city. So. I don't know, dude. Just wherever other people are going, probably. Let's just go there and figure it out. We get to the base, and the guy, he's like telling us about Honduras, and he's like, you got to be careful. He's like, you got to really look out for snakes. There's a lot of venomous snakes here. So when you walk around, just keep an eye out. And he was like, now if you get bit by a snake, the best thing to do is then just go ahead and catch the snake and bring it so then we know like what snake bit you. I was like, dude, I'm pretty positive that's like exactly what you're not supposed to. Like, I've never seen that ever on Animal Planet. Like, someone gets bit and then they gotta be like, now I gotta get it. I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I was like, that doesn't make sense. I've never caught a snake in my life. And then when I got bit for the first time, I gotta get it together and catch a snake. I was like, it's not going to go good, man. I was like, he's going to keep biting me. That's all that's going to happen. And he was like, it doesn't matter. Like, you've already been bit. And I was like, do you even know what a snake is? It completely matters. There's a huge difference between one bite and probably 30 bites. That's what we're going to be at if I try to catch this snake. Who told you this? The snake? Is that who told you to tell me all of this? Whose side are you on?
All right, one of the really cool things about Big Slick, as you all know, is that we get to invite people that we know in the industry. And this next guy, I became a fan of because my girlfriend was a fan of his comedy on Jimmy Fallon, and she made me go here in Kansas City to watch stand-up, and I went and saw him and just was blown away. Then I watched his special, and then I watched everything I possibly could, and I reached out to him and said, dude, you are so hilarious. How would you like to come to an amazing charity event in Kansas City? And without hesitation, he said yes. And during the show this night at the Sprint Center, I kept going back to him and saying, you sure you're going to do okay? You sure you're going to be, you sure your jokes are good? You sure just messing with him. He proceeded to get up and tear the Sprint Center down. I've never seen a crowd rush to give a standing ovation like I did that night. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce you to my friend, Nate. How do you say his last name again? Nate Bargatze. Enjoy.
This next comedian we're bringing to the stage is one of the hottest comedians there is right now. He's got an amazing Netflix special on right now called The Tennessee Kid. His name is Nate Bargatze. He's here to perform for you right now. Give him a big Kansas City welcome.
Yes. Nice. We got him.
All right. Thank you. I'm going to put this energy pretty late in the show. This is what my energy is. Dustin? Look, thank you for having me here. This is very exciting. Got to play some sports softball. Struck out, but it's just a pretty big yellow ball. And I like to play. I play a lot of sports. I like to golf. And recently I was golfing, and I got done, and I was very hot and gross. So I wanted to change my shirt before I drove. So I'm standing in the trunk of my car in the parking lot. I take my shirt off, and this old man walks up and he goes, Olivia? He was looking for his elderly wife and saw me with no shirt on. I covered up. I was like, what's that? And he was like, all right, honest mistake. And I was like, that hurts worse than saying Olivia. I don't know who he offended more, me or Olivia. I think we could both have a word with him. I'd love to meet her, though. I tell you, I'd love to see her and be like, all right, I get it. You know, that's it was an honest mistake. I don't have a good body. That's the message. It's not. You ever wear those Under Armour shirts, those skin tight ones? Like I look better without a shirt on than with that shirt on. It just shows the worst parts of your body. You know, they have like plastic surgery, how they draw markers on you? They should just put you in that shirt and be like, obviously you can see what we're going to go after. We did play softball. I did do some sports growing up. I played baseball, and when I was 13, I was playing baseball. One time I was up to bat, and I got walked. So I take my base, I get to first base, and I turned around, and the catcher was still standing there, and he was holding the ball. He's like staring at me, like he was daring me to run. And I was like, all right, dude, I'm going to go. So I ran, he threw it, over through second base, ball goes in the outfield. I run to third base, the outfield grabs the ball, they overthrow third base. My third base coach is telling me to go home. This is about to be an inside the park home run off a walk. I won't be on Sports Center. This is the biggest play that's ever happened in baseball. I slide, there's a play at the plate, and the umpire then tells us that it was only ball 3. This is exactly true. So, I've got to get up. Everybody's got to get up. I got to get my bat right where I left it. I got to bat again. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Next pitch, immediately strike out. I'm exhausted and just over baseball. Here's what I learned though that day. Here's what I learned. I learned that if you're confident, you can get away with quite a bit. Because no one tried to stop me, and they should have. They knew I wasn't supposed to go. That's why the catcher was holding the ball, because he was like, I don't think he's supposed to be going yet. And then I just run to second. He's like, guess I'm wrong. No one's that dumb. And then he launches it into the outfield, who's barely paying attention. The umpire figures it out, but it's just easier to let me get back to him. No one ever told the parents either. No one ever explained it to them. And they were cheering pretty hard. It's a pretty exciting play to watch. And they just see me slide into home and just stand up and bat again. Like that's just a rule in baseball. And you know what? What's funny too? The year before, I got a legit triple off a walk. So in that moment, I'm like, this is just what I do. You know, like I was like, don't walk me. Like this is my thing. All right. I'm a pretty dumb guy. That's the general. I went to a community college for 1 year, have 0 credits. 0. My loan was like $40. I paid cash. All my classes were outside. We never went inside the building. We would meet at a picnic table outside because our teacher was like, you guys will all be working outside one day. So I've like thought about like if I could time travel, if I could go back in time knowing everything I know now, I don't think you would even hear about it. I think I would just get stuck. I don't know anything. Like I don't think I could. I think if I went back, I don't think I could prove I'm from the future. Like who's the next president? I'm like, just name someone and I'll tell you if I've heard of them or not. But I have no idea. I am married as well. It's fine, you know, you just do it. This is what marriage is. It's just one guy talking and the other's like, I'm gonna get out of here. This is not. My wife, one time we were out on the lake with some of our friends and we were floating around in the water and there was a guy in a boat right next to us and my wife was like, oh, that's my ex-boyfriend in that boat. I didn't know who he was. She didn't have to say anything at all. She was just basically like, are you having fun? Because I would like to put a stop to that. And make you stare at this guy. So I was staring at him, and then I looked at her, and she was staring at him, and I felt like she was staring at him to see what her life would be like if she didn't marry me. So I started staring at him to see what my life would be like if I didn't marry her. I mean, we were putting so much pressure on this guy, and nothing happened. We basically just realized we don't have a boat. But my friends were like, you shouldn't try to fight him. Why didn't you go fight him? I was like, I don't know, because I would have had to swim over to that fight. I don't know how intimidating that is for a guy to see a head in a life jacket floating his way. And then I got to get in the boat. Have you ever tried to climb into a boat from water? It's not aggressive. It takes an hour if no one is in the boat. I would need his help. That's how that fight would start. Oh, thank you. Is this all right? We fight a lot, my wife and I. If we get in a fight, she'll give me the silent treatment. And the silent treatment is very common. Everybody knows what it is. And I think you're just born knowing it. I don't think you're taught it. You know, it's just like something that's inside of you. Here's what made me realize that. I was rewatching the movie Sixth Sense. And look, I'm not trying to do a 6-inch joke. This is a 20-year-old movie. I mean, look how old he is now, Haley Joel Osment. It's that many years ago. That's the baby. It's 20 years old. I also have to spoil it for you, but again, it's 20 years old. So if you haven't seen it by now, then I don't know what to tell you. But think about when you saw this movie for the first time. None of us knew he was dead, too, by the way, just so you know. And if you haven't seen it, like, that's a pretty big part of it. But for those that have, think about it. When you saw this movie for the first time, none of us knew he was dead. That was the biggest surprise we've ever seen in a movie. We just thought his wife wasn't talking to him for like a year. That made more sense to us than him possibly being dead. And they don't hide him dying. A guy shoots him with a gun to start the movie. And we watched it for 2 hours, just like, this is what a movie about marriage. This is what marriage is like. Even if you get shot, it's your fault. We have a daughter as well, and when my daughter was to be born, I'm from Nashville, and when she was to be born, we were living in New York, but she was not born in New York. We flew home. She was born in Tennessee. I don't need her growing up thinking she's better than me. So I was like, you start where we start, all right? No one gets a leg up in this family. I love having a kid. Kids have very weird energy. Like their energy is like they want to fight you. They stare at you. They stare at just strangers for so long. And you try to stare back like, I will fight you in front of everybody. And they just look through you. Like, please, I would love it if you tried. I'm a big chain guy. I go to a lot of chain things. I just like to go to businesses that are doing good everywhere. I'm a big McDonald's fan. I go there quite a bit. And I take my friends, and every time I go in there, they're like, I haven't been here in forever. It's like, don't act like I'm the one keeping them afloat, all right? They're doing real good. So I went in with a buddy of mine, another comedian named Louis J. Gomez. And me and Louis, we go in, we ordered our food at McDonald's, and we sit down at our table. And then Louis went to the bathroom. He left me alone with his food. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to play a prank on him. So I grabbed his hamburger, I unwrapped it, I took a bite out of it, and I wrapped it back up and put it back on his tray. That's my big prank, right? Like when he comes back from the bathroom, I'll be like, dude, did they just eat your burger? That's crazy that they're doing that, right? Is that crazy? It's a dumb prank. It's harmless. It should never leave the table. All that should happen is Louis should come back, he should open his burger, and his first reaction should be to look at his best friend who's sitting with him, who also, by the way, dabbles in comedy, and just be like, hey, I just want to run this by you before I unexpectedly go freak out on this entire McDonald's. That's what I thought would go down. Just a little, hey, did you touch my food the only time it was out of my sight? I just want to know before I try to fight a group of people that are going to be pretty confused on why they're fighting. But instead, I got to learn I'm friends with a lunatic and a guy comfortable fighting McDonald's employees because he opened his burger and could not have ignored me quicker. He looked at them so fast, almost like he expected them to do it, like it's happened before. And he's like, again with this. I will fight all of you till I find out who ate my burger. And he gets up, he starts walking towards them. I can't believe it's working. We have gotten so much farther than I'm prepared to get. So I just grabbed him. I go, dude, I ate it. Like, why would you not look at me once to see if I did this? And I get him to sit down, and it's weird. Like, everybody's looking at us. It takes 10 minutes for people to quit filming us with their phones. And it hits me. I'll just sit there. I was like, you're going to get killed one day, man. I was like, let's pretend I'm not here. Let's pretend that someone did eat your burger that worked at this McDonald's. You're just going to go blindly fight him. Not even try to size him up, see what he looks like. Do you really think you could beat up a guy that is apparently pretty confident in himself, that he's making burgers, he's then eating them, and then he's wrapping them up and just sending them out to whoever? You don't think that guy's probably the greatest fighter of all time? I think you're going to walk to the McDonald's counter and be like, who ate my burger? And all the McDonald's employees are going to part ways. They know exactly who you're talking about. And in the very back, you see a guy cracking his neck. He's got his fist in the fryer. Doesn't even know it. Just warming his hands up. All right, that's it for me. Thank you guys for letting me come out, honestly. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh! Unbelievable. May Bargatze, everybody. May Bargatze.
The best wedding I've ever been to was my cousin's wedding. It was a real redneck affair. It was right outside Louisville, Kentucky, where my parents are from. And my cousin's name is Tuesday, which is a good start. The invitation said, Tuesday's getting married, rehearsals Friday, wedding Saturday. People were like, we gotta be there Monday for this wedding? How long is this wedding? It's a week? I get it. It's for our kids and their kids, and we want to make sure they have a good earth and their environment and stuff. We don't want to have a bad earth. And we don't want them to be mad at us and yell at us. But I don't think they will, because I don't think we get mad. I don't ever see litter on the ground and call my grandmother and be like, where do you get off? You know? I don't know how you show your face anymore, all right? It's cloudy today. Is that because you smoked on planes? Probably. Why'd you have to smoke that high? Where do you think that smoke was going? She had no awareness about her, like the senses that dogs have. Our daughter would put birthday cone hats on her, and one slipped over her eye, and it was like that for 6 hours. I was just trying to see how long, like how's it accidentally not coming off? And she was just going about her day, just eating, drinking, like, yeah, I can't see all that eye no more, all right? That's the cards I was dealt, and that's okay. And then I pulled it off of her, and she's like, oh, I didn't know you were a doctor. And I'm like, I am a doctor. just two dumb animals talking to each other?
She runs everything. She does stuff, doesn't tell. We got a new roof, and I did not know that. A whole new roof. I found out from my neighbors. They were like, how's that new roof going? I go, I don't know what you're talking about. And they go, you didn't know you got a new roof? I go, no, I did not. And then I had to go get hurt. I was like, you gotta go talk to them about that new roof you didn't tell me about. I look like an idiot out there. I say oil, super southern one, oil. I don't even know how to say it like how to y'all. Oil, O-I-L. Yeah. I go motor oil, like tin full. I mean, Southern Community College, that should be mandatory that they fix that. They should write OIL on the board. And I just go, oil. They go, all right, we're going to take care of that, all right? There's a pretty good chance you're going to be working with a lot of that. Silver War, that's how I say it. Instead of civil, I go Silver War. Because, you know, look, that might be on me, all right? I'm not.
The best wedding I've ever been to was my cousin's wedding. It was a real redneck affair. It was right outside Louisville, Kentucky, where my parents are from. And my cousin's name is Tuesday, which is a good start. The invitation said, Tuesday's getting married, rehearsals Friday, wedding Saturday. People were like, we gotta be there Monday for this wedding? How long is this wedding? It's a week? We get there, I'm wearing a button-down shirt, khaki pants, nothing crazy. I'm wildly overdressed. I look like I work there. Everybody else just has a football or basketball jersey on. I'm not smart at all. I'm smart enough to like answer my 6-year-old's questions. She's like, why is the sun hot? I'm like, 'cause it's on fire. That's a stupid question. And I tell her that, all right, because I know that she'll be smarter than me next year and then just for the rest of her life. So I am really sticking it to her while I can. I know nothing about like adult stuff that you're supposed to know about. Global warming, that's one that everybody yells at you about. And they're like, you better do something. I'm like, I'm so tired of it. Let's do it. I'm like, I barely made it out of high school. I don't really know how rain works. So why don't you let me figure that out and then I'll do global warming, you know? But I've seen it rain without clouds. Where's that water coming from? So I'm pretty swamped with this rain stuff right now. But once I get to the bottom of that, I'm gonna do global warming. And I've got some pretty good ideas, you know? It was weird to not have my phone. I mean, everybody has their phone. I was going through the airport, and you just don't have it, and you just stare. I mean, we were waiting in line, and you're just, like, looking ahead, and people were just like, all right, dude, what is wrong with you? I mean, just regular people, like, where's your phone? I'm like, I don't have it. I would like to talk to you, though, if you would talk to me. I'd love to chat for a little bit. I almost joined the Army when I was 18 just because they called. That was the only reason. I thought I got picked. I was like, oh, wow, this is an honor. Like, I also signed up for a JCPenney credit card at 18 because they called and I was like, man, this day is getting crazier and crazier. I would love it. I would love a credit card. I just got called for the Army. I'll go get some stuff. My mom had to go get me out of all of that. My mom had to call the Army and JCPenney in the same day. She was like, he's not doing any of this. He got to the phone quicker than he usually does, so.
Like a lot. Like she asked me recently if I would take a bullet for her. And look, here's the deal with that. For starters, she runs with a pretty rough crowd, so it's probably going to happen. Now, I did tell her yes, but like honestly, the reason I said yes was like, you know, how fast is a bullet? Oh, it's like fast, right? Like, you don't hear a gun go off and you're like, oh, I should get over there and get in front of that, right? Like, all I gotta do is like, she'll get shot, then I'll just dive like right after she gets shot. So, like, I'll dive, and then I'll be like, did I get it? I'll feel around. Look, I know her, all right? She's going to be mad at me about it. She's always mad. And she's like, no, you didn't get it, like you get nothing. I'm like, oh, great. She's starting a fight. That's what she's doing. So I'm like, well, that wasn't reasonable to ask me to do. Did you ever think of that? Yeah, it's a bit unrealistic, all right? How fast do you think I am? If you want to ask your spouse to protect you, like a realistic question, you should ask, like, hey, would you take a sword for me? That's much more realistic. You're going to see a sword. If you ever get stabbed by a sword, you knew you were near a sword for at least half an hour. No one pulls a sword out, and you're like, I didn't know you had that sword. No, we all knew. Everybody knew, all right, sword people are the worst. That's just the way it goes. Here's the bad part, too. If someone did break into our house, like I don't have a gun to protect us. You don't have a pocket knife. That's all I have. That's going to do nothing. I could hope to aggravate him at best. I would like cut him and be like, you just ripped my shirt, and then we'd kill both of us. That's best case scenario with a pocket knife. Because I don't know how to use this knife in the middle of the day, much less I'm going to wake up out of a dead sleep and have some kind of knife skill I've never had before. So what we do is me and my wife, we have to sleep strategically in our bed to prepare for an attack. So now, she really doesn't know it's a strategy. She just thinks she's closest to the door to be away from the air conditioning. But there's much more to it than that. So she's here. So the plan is like the guy's going to come in, right? And she's going to lunge at him. Now, she might go, yeah, it felt like a push. Well, it's not. It's not a push. It's the very beginnings of a lunge. So I need to let her know, hey, by the way, I have a strategy I didn't tell you about. This is the beginning of it. You got to go. So she will lunge. Now, she's from Alabama. She's pretty scrappy. She'll put up a good fight. I know she will. At least a good enough fight that I can be practicing with my knife on my side. I'll, like, stab at pillows with it. So when he gets to me, I'll be like, I don't know if you looked over here while you fought my wife, but, like, that used to be one whole pillow. So, make sure.
My eyes can read good. It's my brain. My eyes are such good readers. I feel so bad because they're attached to this dumb brain. I mean, they're looking at these words and they're like, you're not getting any of this, man? That's the 5th time we've read that sentence. Let's try another one. Fiction, nonfiction. I don't know which one's the truth. I read every book as the truth is how I handle it. And from what I can tell, we have a pretty big wizard problem in this country right now. We got in a fight once over chocolate milk. We didn't talk for 24 hours. What happened is I brought chocolate milk home, and she was like, why did you bring it home? And I was like, you're supposed to drink it after you work out. And she was like, that's not true. And I was like, well, there's a commercial on TV that probably looked into it more than you did. So I decided to listen to them. And she said, that's just the milk people pushing chocolate milk. And I was like, you don't even know what that statement means. You don't know if there's milk people. And I think chocolate milk's doing fine. I don't think they're sitting on barrels of it. And they're like, we got to make up a lie. We got to get rid of this chocolate milk. She went to college, all right, and I did not. But she did not study chocolate milk. When is it good and not good for you? You know where I really want to go visit? Cambodia. That's where it's at, guys. Like, I don't know where it's at, but I know that's where it's at. So that's the good part, you know? Here's what they have in Cambodia. This is a for real, legit tourist attraction that they have. You can shoot a rocket launcher at a cow. Yeah, that's one of their options, all right? And I know, you're like, all right, I bet it's pricey. So, no, it's not, actually. It's very reasonably priced, which is nice. It's only $400. That's not that bad of a deal to shoot a rocket launcher at a cow. And if you're like, well, what if we don't hit it? You know, is it really worth it to take the family there? Yes, it is, all right? No one hits it. No one shoots it. They're like, I do this a lot at home. Like, this is kind of... And they're good dudes. They give you $200 back if you don't hit it. So that's a good business. Why would you not support a business like that?
My wife and I, we met at Applebee's. And before I ever started comedy, I was a host and she was a server.
And someone asked her recently, they said, hey, do you think, did you ever imagine when you started dating that your lives would become all that it's become? And she said, well, when I met him, he was a host, and I didn't think he was smart enough to be a server. So, yeah, we've got a little bit farther than I expected, you know? I told her I want to be a server one day, and she's like, you keep dreaming that dream, all right? I think if you try hard, you can get that menu memorized. So I'm the dreamer of our group. You know, I feel like in a marriage, you have one of you is a dreamer. You know, money's not real. Let's have fun. Let's go do fun stuff as much as we can. And the other person hates fun. And that's how you make a marriage. You can't have two dreamers. You're going to be homeless in an hour. You need someone that just walks around. Is fun happening? I'd like to put a stop to that. Are y'all having fun? Stop it. Is the air conditioner on? Turn it off. I married my dad, is who I married. My dad, who I thought air conditioning cost $100,000 a day to run it. When we would be on car rides, I thought if you turned it on, your car exploded. Like just gas, you were out. We're out immediately. Did someone turn the air conditioner on? My wife's always around, too. I feel just always like near, you know, especially about home. It's like I married a cat that I'm like, you just always on me. If I do if I go to the bathroom, she's like, I'm going to paint the bathroom door while you're in there. You couldn't do it later? No, I had all the time to do it. I thought I'd wait till you went in, and that's when I was going to start. If I eat something she doesn't approve of, she just pops up, man. I mean, I'll try to sneak it. I could eat an Oreo cookie in the attic at 3 a.m., and I would bet my life a light would cut on, and she'd be like, what are you doing up here? And if I questioned it, it was like, what are you doing up here? She's like, I'm always up here. This is when I do my attic stuff. She put Life 360 on my phone. That's so they can track you even when they're not near you. You might not even know you have it on your phone. It's worse than what the government's doing. I would rather the government track me than her. She just calls me, why are you at Krispy Kreme donuts? I'm like, look, I'm not going to live like this, all right? If I want donuts, I'm not going to lock my phone in a gym locker and go pay cash for donuts. I've done it, but I'm not going to do it every time. God forbid I go to a store she has a coupon for. I mean, I'll be walking into the parking lot, just get a call, don't buy anything, I have a coupon. I'm like, do you think I'm going to come home and get that coupon? Is that what you think's about to happen? I'm going to try to pay more now that you called. I don't even know if Target allows that, but I'm going to try to negotiate up on this toothpaste. You better hope they don't ask me to round up. I'm rounding up. I hate coupons so much, and she's addicted to them. She will not let me leave. Like, I got a coupon. I'm like, I just feel so stupid. I'm buying deodorant, and I'm like, I don't have all the money, but I'm almost there. But I do have this coupon. One day, I hope to be able to pay full price. We are saving up as much as we can. I'm not smart at all. I'm smart enough to like answer my 6-year-old's questions. She's like, why is the sun hot? I'm like, 'cause it's on fire. It's a stupid question. And I tell her that, all right, because I know that she'll be smarter than me next year and then just for the rest of her life. So I am really sticking it to her while I can. I know nothing about like adult stuff that you're supposed to know about. Global warming, that's one that everybody yells at you about. And they're like, you better do something. I'm like, well, I'm so tired of it. Let's do it. I'm like, I barely made it out of high school. I don't really know how rain works. So why don't you let me figure that out, and then I'll do global warming, you know? But I've seen it rain without clouds. Where's that water coming from? So I'm pretty swamped with this rain stuff right now. But once I get to the bottom of that, I'm going to do global warming. And I've got some pretty good ideas, you know? We recycle, you know, and we recycle because of my wife. It's her, she gets all the credit for that. I would never recycle if I was by my, I don't do it if she's not looking at me. So I would never do it if I was alone. I looked up a list of like, all right, like what are you supposed to do for global warming as an individual? And it was a big long list. But the first thing on the list was my favorite. It just said, just talk to your friends and family about it. Think about your friends and family, like not the ones that are the good ones close. Think about how far out it goes. Just when you guys get together, like, do you mind if we talk about global warming for a little? I just thought this would be a good time to get into it. I had a great aunt and uncle fist fight each other at a wedding. Let me get in the middle of that fight. Any chance this fight was about global warming? Because I just would love to get that conversation rolling, you know? I get it. It's for our kids and their kids, and we want to make sure they have a good earth and their environment and stuff. We don't want to have a bad earth. And we don't want them to be mad at us and yell at us. But I don't think they will, because I don't think we get mad. I don't ever see litter on the ground and call my grandmother and be like, where do you get off? You know? I don't know how you show your face anymore, all right? It's cloudy today. Is that because you smoked on planes? Probably. Why'd you have to smoke that high? Where do you think that smoke was going? We did stuff as a kid. I did Earth Day as a kid. I think they still do Earth Day. And we did it. I'm from Old Hickory, and we were a plant, like DuPont plant we were a plant town. So they had a plant, and we went and planted trees in front of the DuPont plant. And there was just black smoke coming out of this, like, and we're just in front of it, like, this is for Earth. And if you can't even see us, it's so dark. And we're just like, this is for the Earth of stuff, and we're going to breathe better. And you're like, I don't know if that's the problem. The end of the night comes, everybody's drunk, children, adults, it's across the board. Fight breaks out. We hear some of y'all fight. And I mean, you're sitting there, you got a 50-50 shot. It's not your side of the family. We get over there, it's 100% our side. It's my dad's aunt and uncle, both rolling around on the ground. They're in their late 70s. He wanted to leave, she did not. So they thought, let's just handle it in front of everybody. So we got to get him apart, and he starts fighting us, and he's a pretty good fighter, all right? He's punching women in public. You don't think he's handled some dudes in his lifetime? That ends the night. You know, you can't be like, all right, guys, let's calm. Let's cut the radio back on, find a good station. Tuesday is sadly divorced now. That did not work out. My dad's aunt and uncle, sadly, it did work out. They're still together.
I think I was buying a tree. I don't really know. But I tried to give him cash, and he was like, oh, you got to do a credit card. I was like, okay. I give a random iPad, all my family information. It was $75. So he's like, swipes the card. And then after it goes through, he goes, just so you know, it's a monthly charge. Yeah. He told me after. And he was like, look, you can cancel it on the website. I was like, I don't even know what's going on right now. He goes, put your email down for the receipt. I was like, all right. And I just put my wife's email address down. Guess who's going to put a stop to this real fast? She'll have that tree cut down tomorrow.
The job I had, the job I will go back to when all this falls apart. I was a water meter reader. The title was the description of what you do. If you're old enough, you remember when 9/11 happened, the whole country got very scared that there's going to be more attacks. Well, we did as well in Wilson County. They just went to New York, obvious next stop, Mount Juliet, Tennessee. And they are going to poison our town's water. So they got all of us water meter readers, stood just in a dark field, alone, waiting for the Taliban to show up. No weapons, no training. They gave us a lantern. A lantern. That does nothing but shows your body as you hold it up. I can't see 2 feet in front of me. If someone's got a gun, they're like, just shoot at the only light in that field. Gonna put it over my heart to see. I'm like, what's going on?
On a sadder note of sorts, we had to put our dog down recently, and it's a tough thing to do. You know, nothing was wrong with her. I'm just really busy right now, and she was very sick. That was a joke. All right, that was a joke, and she would have loved that joke. So don't you worry about it. That's the type of humor she had. She was a rescue. It's not your labradoodle humor, all right? It's a little darker. She She was a wonderful dog. We loved her, and her name was Annie. And the reason we got her was my sister worked at a vet, and people do put dogs down for no reason. So if someone brought a dog in that was fine, they just didn't want it. My sister couldn't do it, so she would walk the dog back and then just steal the dog. I don't know the laws on all that, but I'm sure now people are finding out that their dog's still alive right now. So we got Annie. Annie was getting put down. She was a hunting dog, and she was terrible at it. And she was bred to be a hunting dog, and she was just like a misfit toy that just didn't do it. She got shot once, and that's because the guy, he would be like doing target practice, and then she'd just walk in front of the targets, and he would hit her, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "What are you doing?" She had no awareness about her, the senses that dogs have. We had turkeys in our backyard once, and I let her out to go chase these turkeys. Retired hunting dog. Figured that's fun. And we have a very normal backyard. It's not Yellowstone Park. You can see all of it at all times. I push her out, and she just pees and then comes back in the house. Never sees the turkeys. And I was just looking at her you didn't feel anything? Nothing was going? I sensed it as a human on the couch. I felt there was turkeys outside. You want to take just one lap around, see if... The guy used her a lot for duck hunting. So he would shoot a duck. She's supposed to run and go get it and then bring it back. So what I like to picture is he shoots the duck. She runs out, comes back, no duck. And she's like, "I don't even know what we're doing." All right, I did not. A million things flew in the air when you shot that gun. And I'm supposed to know which one you hit. And the guy's just looking at her, and then she's like, "You're not even the guy that I came out here with. Do you see, is there another guy out here by any chance?" Our daughter would put birthday cone hats on her, and one slipped over her eye. And it was like that for 6 hours. I was just trying to see how long, how's it accidentally not coming off? And she was just going about her day, just eating, drinking, yeah, I can't see all that eye no more, all right? That's the cards I was dealt, and that's okay. And then I pulled it off of her, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't know you were a doctor." And I'm like, "I am a doctor." Just two dumb animals talking to each other. So she had skin cancer, and she would get all these spots on her. So we kept getting them removed, but it was really starting to take a toll on her, and she was older. So we knew the day was close. And our daughter, she's 6 now, but she was 5 at the time. This was her first pet. She was best friends with this dog. And it was the first thing that was going to die in her lifetime. So it's a lot of stuff to have to explain to a kid, And so I was talking to my wife about how are we going to tell her? And at first I was like, let's just act like we didn't have a dog. 5-year-olds are smart, but if we stick together on this, and she comes home from school and is like, "Where's the dog?" And we're like, "What dog?" I've never seen a dog. Don't you think I would know if there was a dog? But I read an article about the long-term damage of that. It's pretty good. So I was just honest with her. And I set her down. I said, "Look, Annie's very sick and she's older and she's going to die soon. This happens, so just love her as much as you can right now." And she took it as good as a 5-year-old can take it. So the next day, I kind of told her again, you got to tell kids over and over again. I kind of kept telling her. I didn't want this to be a surprise. And then Annie surprised us by living 6 months longer. I mean, we were way off on when we thought she was going to die. But I already started telling my daughter I didn't want to stop and then have to start it again. So I just kept it up for 6 months. Every day I was like, "She'll die. All right, she will die. She will die. I will die. Your mom's dead." Finally the day was here, and our daughter was at school. And so my sister and my wife, they took Annie to go have to put her to sleep. And I went to go pick up our daughter to tell her. I've already been telling her. And so I picked her up. I told her. It was brutal, very sad. She took it as if this was the first she's heard about it. We get home, and my wife was like, "How was it?" Which is already a dumb, it was great. I loved it. Can't wait for the next thing to die. Nice to say I told you so, I told my wife it was terrible, And then my wife goes, "You didn't tell her that I did it, did you?" And I was like, "No, why would I say that?" I didn't even think about it, And I looked at her like, is that what you would have said, though? Would you have told her that I did it? You know how your dad's been talking with the dog dying? Well, he's finally had enough. The dumbest I've ever been talked to, I like to golf. And so a guy was telling me there's a real golf course in North Carolina where they have llamas or the caddies. So if you don't know anything about golf, I mean, you know, a caddy usually carries your bag around, tells you how far you are from the hole, and helps you out. So this course, they have llamas. So you put your golf bag on a llama, and it carries your bag. So he told me that, and then he looks into my big, dumb eyes, and he goes, just so you know, llamas can't talk, though. I mean, that's the question he was trying to get ahead of as he looked into my stupid eyes. Like, he's like, I'm going to say it so that guy doesn't have to say it. Like, I'm just at the zoo talking to the giraffes, just, hey, where are you guys from, you know? I know where you're from, but where are you from? You know what I mean? So I'm 41 years old. And when I turned 40 was the first age I did not want to turn. I remember my parents turning 40. It just feels old. And it's also the age that you do realize everybody you're talking to, you are older than. Before you're 40, I think everybody you talk to is your age. And for some reason, when you turn 40, you're just older than that person. I'll just be talking to them like, remember that? It's like 97, 98. They go, I wasn't born yet. You're like, golly, are you serious, dude? In my eyes, we look the same. Where's your dad at? Let me talk to him, because I swear I thought you were my age. One thing I got when I hit my 40s was claustrophobia. Never had it. Actually got it here on the Simpsons ride, which is what's crazy. I mean, we're 100 yards away from where my life fell apart. I rode that ride with my daughter, and we're sitting on it, and we had another buddy, and he has his two girls on, and so we sit there, and they pull the bar down, and the bar, my leg gets stuck in the middle, and it just opened a door that I never knew was there. I mean, it's like a problem. I had to stop the ride. It's super embarrassing to stop a child's ride and just be like, I'm just waving. I'm like, I can't do it. And then they open the bar and they go, all right, you can do it again. I was like, I'm out, dude. And no one got to ride it because I couldn't ride it. We all had to leave. Yeah, ruined it for everybody. And that's claustrophobia. It just kind of ruins everybody's time. It's what's funny, the panic of claustrophobia is pretty funny, though. I mean, it's not funny when it's happening to you, but how quick you go from normal to just an insane person it's all at the same time. So it's all kind of new to me, so I forget I have it. And I'll put myself in a situation and I go, there it is. I got an Uber once with like 7 people. And so we get in, I'll get in the third row trying to be a good guy. And I climb in the back, they put all the seats up and it just starts hitting me. And I mean, I'm back there, you're like, just trying to be normal, you know, you're not talking. And then you just go, hey, you think you could roll the window down? You know what? Can everybody just get out of the van real fast? I mean, we're just driving down the interstate. Hey, could y'all crack the window? Do you mind if I drive the Uber? Do you think I can drive it?
Ever get in those fights, like you'll be at home, like you and your spouse, and you guys are not talking to each other, and you're in the house together, no kids, the house is quiet, and you just stay on the opposite ends, and then you pass each other in the hallway. That's like the funniest part of it, because you don't live in a mansion, you have one hallway, and you just didn't time it out right, and you just have to walk by each other like strangers. You're like, oh, excuse me, sorry, yeah, no, go ahead. She'll be watching TV. I'm like, ma'am, are you watching this? I couldn't tell. I was going to change it if you weren't watching it. It's the silent treatment. The silent treatment is, it's a very common thing. Everybody knows what it is. I think women are just born knowing it. I don't think you're taught it. I don't think it's like, my mom did it and her mom. It's an instinct that's in us all, that we all just know. Here's what made me think of that. I rewatched the movie Sixth Sense. And I'm not trying to do a Sixth Sense joke. This is a 20-year-old movie. I also have to spoil it, but it's 20 years old. So if you don't know by now, I don't know what to tell you, you know? And don't be like, we're going to watch it tonight. We're going to go to Blockbuster on the way home. So he's dead the whole time. And I don't know. I mean, if you haven't seen it, it's a pretty big part of it. But for those that have, think about when you watched it. When we all saw this movie for the first time, none of us knew he was dead. That was the biggest surprise
we've ever seen in our life, you know? We just thought his wife wasn't talking to him for like a year. That made more sense to us than him possibly being dead. Chuck E. Cheese is rough. I don't know if you've been there in a while. They look like they're trying to go to business and they can't. They filed for bankruptcy and they're still open. They called Blockbuster and they're like, how do you get out? We want out. They're updating nothing. That Chucky band is just robotic. I mean, the drummer doesn't even turn on. It just sits like that the whole time. They sell booze to parents now. They just give them buckets of Bud Light. They're drunk in a booth at 9 a.m. And someone drives those kids home. I don't see a bunch of Ubers and Lyfts showing up. There was a Chuck E. Cheese that got caught. If people didn't eat all their pizza, they would just put it back out on the buffet. And that would shut down any normal business. And with Chuck E. Cheese, they have thrived. I mean, when I read the story, I was like, I thought that's what they were doing. I thought we agreed that that's fine. I didn't even know what the article was about. I've been doing these drive-in shows, these drive-in movie theater shows, and my buddy Nick Novicki's been with me, and Nick's a little person, very fun. We started a comedy together. Nick's very fun to be friends with. He very easy to trick. We were once at a coffee shop, and a guy was sitting near us with a big husky dog, and Nick just goes, "Hey, you think that's a wolf?" And I just said, "Yeah, I do think it's a wolf. They just passed a law that if you can catch a wolf, you can have it as a pet." And he goes, "Should I go ask him about it?" I was like, "I mean, absolutely. You know, I mean, he wants to talk about it. That's why he brought that wolf out here." And I watched him walk over to him and just go, "Excuse me, is that a wolf?" And the guy, I mean, he didn't really know how to answer it. He said, "What? I mean, you think I brought a wild wolf to this coffee shop?" And the wolf's just being cool about it? It's not losing its mind right now? When we were doing these driving shows, we were all on a bus together. I convinced Nick that I didn't know who Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding were. Nick is learning this, that I do know who they are. He's learning right now with you. I never told him. I absolutely know who they are. He brought all his references are just 90s sports references. He only can reference the 90s. And so he brings up Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding, and I was like, "Who's that?" He's like, "What? You don't know who they are?" And I was like, I don't think anybody knows who they are. And he goes, "Dude, this is like a huge story. It's like figure skating is like a mafia hit." I was like, "I've never heard this, dude. Don't you think I would have heard it?" I mean, I was like, "No one knows this." He's like, he's losing his mind. I go, "They should make a 30 for 30 if it's that good." He goes, "They did." Another guy's like, "They should make a movie about it." He goes, "There's a movie." And he's just losing it. One of my favorite ones was, this was forever ago. We're going to a friend's house, and it was a 4-flight walk up. And so we had to walk 4 flights. Obviously, I walk faster than Nick, and I used to wait for him, but we've just been friends too long. I can't. We're like an old married couple. I'm just gone. So I knew where we were going, and I knew that he did not. So I leave him, and I go into my buddy's apartment. I was like, "Nick doesn't know where you live." So that's fun, you know, just see what happens. About 30 minutes go by. Nick finally comes into the apartment, and I asked him, I was like, "Where were you?" He goes, "I didn't know where to go." And I go, "I know." So, like, I mean, you've been gone for a long time. You know, did you go back outside? He goes, "Oh, no, I've been in someone else's apartment all this time." He went into someone's, he was just trying handles. And the door opened, he walked in, said, "I'm with Nate," and went and sat on their couch. That's how far he made it. Think about where your couch is. That's how deep he made it into their place. And he's so confident. I mean, they had to be like, I don't know, maybe we know a Nate, you know? So they wanted us to be prepared for it. What they did was, like, you know, you always hand out flyers if a kid goes missing. They put a picture of the kid and all the information below the flyer. So the height, weight, eye color, all that stuff. So instead of making a flyer, what they made us do was we wrote on a piece of paper our name, height, weight, eye color, and then we just held it up against the wall, and they just took a picture of us. We already have one made, which if we would have been kidnapped, my parents would be in prison right now. No one's going to believe you pre-took pictures. I mean, they're going to just look at this and be like, "All right, just tell us where the kids are at." That would be the easiest thing to do. I've never seen this ever.
We have a daughter now.
Have you ever been to a Starbucks like
so it's
inside?
getting,
Like if you go inside,
2-year-old
there's like
daughter.
a
It's
big
getting pretty
long
serious
line,
between me and my
you'll
wife
be waiting,
now.
and they try to
And
take your order
it's-
before you're even to the front.
I was living in New
Like, you'll
York.
be in the back,
My
like,
daughter
what
was
do you want?
born.
You're
She was
like,
not born
I would
here.
like
That
to
we
wait
flew home.
till I
She was
get
born in
right in front of
Tennessee.
you.
I didn't want her to be born in New York.
Yeah,
I don't need her growing up
you see
thinking
everybody
she's
looked at me
better
when you
than me.
said that. I didn't care for that. So
I was like, you start where we
how
start,
about
all right?
we
No
do
one
it
gets a
like
leg
a
up in
regular,
this
normal
family.
business, you know, and you let me do
It was
right in
wild.
front of you.
I remember like going on the way to the
Starbucks is
hospital.
like
I was like telling my
waving
wife, I was
cars
like, look, I
down
don't
on
want
the
to see
street.
anything. All right, it's
Just
gonna
be
be
like, we're
gross.
just trying to get your order
I
started
wish it was
in
like
case
the
you ever come
50s
here
when
one
they didn't
day.
let me in the hospital. But it's
Have
not.
you ever
Now
been
doctors
to a
are like,
Starbucks
do you want
like
to deliver the
inside? Like
baby?
you
Why
go
don't you do
inside and
most
there's
of
like a
it?
big long line.
I didn't take a class.
And they try to take your
They
order.
just act like I'm the
before
guy
you're
that cuts
even to the
umbilical
front.
cords at the
Like you'll be in the
hospital.
back, they're like, what do you want?
I almost
You're
cut the
like,
wrong part.
I'd
Like,
to
you
wait
know, I don't
till
know what
get
it
right
is.
in front of you.
And they're like, that's not right. I was like,
you know,
why don't you do it? You did go to doctor school for this.
So
Why am I doing minor surgery
how
right now?
about we
I
do it
mean,
like a regular,
is it
normal
cheaper? If it's
business,
not cheaper,
you
I don't
know?
want to
And
do
you
it.
let me do
All
it right in
right.
front of you.
I don't read any
Starbucks
books.
is like
I
waving
don't do
cars
it.
down
And
on
I
the
think,
street.
and I think that matters.
Just like,
I
we're just
do
trying to
think
get
that
your order
matters.
started in case you ever come here one
Reading,
day.
I believe, is the key to smart. That's what I've always said.
Have you ever been to a Starbucks like inside? Like if you go
I don't do
inside
it,
and there's like a
'cause
big
every
long
book
line,
is just
and
the
you'll be waiting
most
and they try to
words.
take your order before you're even to the front.
It
Like you'll be in the
doesn't
back,
let
they're like,
up.
what do you want?
I
You're
mean,
like, I would like to
every
wait till I
page
get right in
is
front of
more
you.
work. It's like, what are you talking
you know,
about?
you see everybody looked at me when you said that. I
Put
didn't
some
care for
blank
that.
pages
So
in there. Let me get my head above
how
water
about
for
we
2
do it
seconds.
like a regular normal business, you know? And you let me do it right in front of you. Starbucks is like waving cars down on the street. Just be like, we're just trying to get your order started in case you ever come here one day.
by adults.
Have you ever been to a Starbucks like inside? Like if you go inside and there's like a big long line, and you'll be waiting, and they try to take your order before you're even to the front.
Children, like they chose.
Like you'll be in the back, they're like, what do you
Like when
want?
they were
You're like,
born, the
I
doctor
would like
goes,
to wait
hey,
till I
there'll
get
be
right in front of you.
Everybody.
Yeah, you know, when you see everybody looked at me when you said that, I didn't care for that.
Been on a
So
plane? They just go, all right, everybody.
how about
Can't
we
have
do it
peanuts
like
today
a
'cause that
regular
loser
normal
kid
business,
right there.
you know? And you let me
These
do it right in
grown-ups
front
are
of you.
booing 'em. I mean, they're just
Starbucks
throwing
is
them
like
on the place
waving
for the
cars
peanuts. I
down
don't
on
know
the
where
street.
Me and my wife fight a lot, like
Just be like,
normal.
we're just
You know,
trying to get
like normal
your order
fighting.
started in
It's
case
easy
you
to
ever come
fight
here one
when you're
day.
married. I think marriage and prison are the two easiest places
Have you
to
ever
start
been to a
for
Starbucks
fight.
like inside? Like if you go inside,
Everybody's really
there's like a
tense and
big
on
long
edge. You know,
line,
no one remembers
and you'll be
what I
waiting,
got
and
there.
they try to take your order before you're even to the
My wife will
front.
get mad like when I hang out with
Like,
my
you'll be in the
buddies.
back,
She's
like,
always
what do
like,
you
"Oh, you
want?"
always
You're
have so
like,
much fun with
I
your
would like to
friends.
wait
You
till
always
I get
laugh at
right
them
in
a
front
lot.
of you.
You know, you never laugh that much with me.
Yeah, you know, you
It's
see
like, yeah,
everybody
hang
looked
out
at me
with
when you said that.
professional
I didn't care for
comedians.
that. So
It's a pretty good time, you
how
know.
about
Like
we do it like a regular
they make
normal
jokes, new
business,
jokes every
you know?
day. She
And you
doesn't
let
make
me do it
she
right
doesn't
in
make
front of
jokes
you.
ever.
Starbucks is like
she makes a
waving
lot of
cars
lists.
down
She
on the
does do
street.
lists,
We got in
though.
a fight. Like, we're just trying to get your order started in
over
case you ever come
chocolate
here
milk.
one day. We didn't talk for 24 hours. Have you ever been
What
to a
happened is
Starbucks
I
like
brought
inside? Like if you go
chocolate milk
inside and
home,
there's like a big
and
long
she was like,
line,
"Why did you
and
bring
you'll be
it home?"
waiting,
And I
and they
was
try
like,
to
"You're
take your
supposed to
order
drink it
before
after
you're
you
even
work
to the
out.
front. Like you'll be in the back, they're like,
And
what do you want?
she
You're
was
like,
like,
I
"That's
would
not
like
true."
to
And I
wait
was
till I
like,
get
"Wow,
right in
there's a
front of you.
commercial on TV. They probably looked into
you know,
it more
when
than
you
you
see everybody
did.
looked at me when you
So
said that. I didn't care for that.
I decided to listen to them.
How
And she said,
about
"That's
we
just
do
the
it like a
milk
regular
people
normal
pushing
business,
chocolate milk."
you know?
And I was
And you
like,
let me
"You
do
don't
it
even
right in
know
front of
what
you.
that statement means."
Starbucks is
You
like
don't know if
waving
there's milk
cars
people.
down on the
I
street.
think chocolate milk's doing
Just be like,
fine.
we're just
I
trying
don't
to
think
get
they're
your order
sitting on
started in case
barrels
you ever
of
come
it.
here one day. And they're like, we got to make up a lie. We got to get
Have
rid
you
of
ever
this chocolate
been
milk.
to
To a Starbucks like inside.
She
Like
went
you
to
go
college,
inside and there's like a
right,
big
and I
long
did
line.
not.
But
You'd be
she
waiting,
did not
and they try to
study
take your
chocolate
order
milk.
before
When
you're
is it
even to the
good and
front.
not good for you?
Like,
You'll
there's
be
a
in
guy
the
in
back.
a-
They're like, what do you
Are
want?
you-
You're like,
you don't
I
want
would like to
technology all
wait
the
till I
time.
get
She
right
just
in front
sits
of you.
there on her iPad.
Yeah,
She must be a
you know, when you
YouTuber,
see everybody
which
looked
is
at
a
me when you said
comedian,
that.
makes
I
me
didn't care for
furious.
that. So
She watches all these kid
how
YouTube
about we
videos,
do it
and now
like
she
a
makes her
regular
own
normal
videos.
business?
It's just her
you know,
sitting there
and you
going,
let me do
"Hey
it right in
guys,
front
what's
of you.
going on? Click the links below.
Starbucks is like
subscribe,
waving
leave a
cars
comment."
down on the street.
None of this is anywhere just been like, we're just trying to get your order started in case you ever come here one day.
Me and her mom are the only subscribers.
Have you ever been to a Starbucks like inside? Like you go inside and there's like a big long line,
Like
and you'll be waiting, and they try to take your order before you're even to the front. Like you'll be in the back, they're like, "What do you want?" You're like, "I would like to wait till I get right in front of you."
Open it.
Yeah, you know when you see everybody looking at you when you said that, I didn't care for that.
It
So
looks like we buy her nothing. Like
how about we do it like a regular, normal
never
business?
gonna have fun in this
You know,
house.
and you let me do it right in
She
front
runs
of
everything
you.
because she knows everything.
Starbucks
Like
is
I don't know
waving
any
cars down
stuff.
on the street.
Like I don't know how
We're
much
just
money
trying
we
to
have.
get your order started
Like
in case you ever
could
come
not
here
even
one day.
ballpark it. I don't even know where
Have
it's
you
at.
ever
I
been
don't even know how to
to
get it if I
Starbucks,
had
like
to get
inside,
it.
like you go inside,
What
and there's
bank
like a
we
big
go
long
to?
line,
I don't know. Like
and you'll
you
be
know,
waiting, and they try
I
to
can't
take
get
your
robbed
order
because
before you're even
like
to
some
the
guys
front.
like let's go to the ATM.
Like you'll be in
you
the
know,
back,
it's like, well, I
like,
guess
what
we
do
gotta
you
wait for
want?
my
You're
wife
like,
to get here.
I would like to wait till I get right
She
in front
can't.
of you.
She can't leave me
Yeah,
because I don't
you know,
like. I
when
wouldn't know how
you see
to get
everybody looked
stuff.
at me when you
You
said
know,
that. I didn't care for
like
that.
she can't even die.
So
She starts dying. I'll die so much
how
faster than her
about we do it like a regular, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't have to call her mom and be like, hey, did she ever bring up bank stuff to you at all? Did you ever
waving cars
talk about that? Or what did she do for a living? Do you know? What was her deal?
My dad too. My dad has surgery.
Have you ever
8 times
been
a year,
to a
probably.
Starbucks like inside? If you go inside, and there's like a big long line, and you'll be waiting, and they try to take
He
your
had
order
surgery
before you're even
because
to
he's
the
addicted
front.
to Afrin, the nose
Like you'll be in
spray.
the back, they're like, what do you want? You're like, I would like to wait
Look,
till I
I've
get
been
right in
addicted
front
to
of you.
Afrin, the nose spray. If you don't know what it is, I would honestly tell you not to get involved.
I didn't care for that. So
It's one of the best things I've ever been
how
part
about
of.
we do it like a regular
Solves
normal
everything
business,
immediately.
you know? And you let me do it right in
When I
front
was
of
on
you.
it too, my wife was
Starbucks
she'd be
is like
what's that
waving
noise
cars
here,
down
one
on the
puff?
street.
What's that? I go, I ain't gonna
We're
live
just
like
trying to
this.
get your order started in case you
I
ever
ain't
come
worked
here
this
one
hard
day.
not to do Afrin in my own home.
Have you ever been to a Starbucks
my
like
dad goes to
inside?
the
Like you go
doctor,
inside and there's like a
and
big long
they were
line.
like, do you use
and you'll be
Afrin?
waiting
And he
and they
goes,
try to
no.
take your order before you're
And the
even
doctor
to the
was like,
front.
I can see.
Like you'll be in the
they
back,
use
you're
it.
like,
I
what
was
do you
just
want?
saying
You're
that.
like, I would like
He
to
goes,
wait
how long
till I
have you
get
been
right in
using
front
it?
of you.
My dad said 5 years.
Yeah, you
When
know,
my
when
mom was
you
there,
everybody
she
looked at
goes,
me when you
how
said
about
that? I didn't care for
45
that.
years?
So
45 years. The back
how
of the box
about we
says
do
no
it like
more
a
than
regular
30
normal
days.
so impressed with birth.
And you let me
The big
do it right in
message
front of
they
you.
tell you, they're like, all right, whatever you
Starbucks
do,
is
let's
like
just try not
waving
to shake
cars
this
down on the
baby.
street.
That's
Just be
the
like,
number
we're
one
just
goal.
trying to get your order
And they
started
tell
in
it to
case
you
you
almost
ever
like,
come here one
obviously,
day.
you're going to want to shake the baby. But it would be just
Have you
so
ever
awesome
been
if you just
to a
did not
Starbucks
shake
like
this
inside?
baby.
Like you go inside
And then I
there's like
watched a
big
video
long
of a guy, and he
line,
was like,
you'll be
here's what I
waiting, and they
do
try to
when I
take
feel
your
like I want to
order
shake my
before you're
baby.
even to the
I take
front.
walks, you
Like
know?
you'll be in the
I
back,
walk.
like, what do you want? You're like, I would like
I
to
walk
wait
about
till I
70
get
miles
right
a
in
day.
front of
I walk
you.
a lot.
Yeah.
Barely seen
you know,
this
when
baby.
You see everybody looked at me when you said that. I didn't care for
And
that.
then I signed a
So,
certificate like I was in kindergarten
how
that said,
about
all right,
we
I'm not
do
going to
it
shake
like
the
a
baby.
regular
They quit
normal
asking me. I didn't even
business,
think
you
of it
know?
till you
And
guys
let
brought
me
it
do
up.
it right in front of you.
I've never heard the word shake so much in my
Starbucks is like
entire life.
waving cars
Like that's all I
down on
talked
the
about for
street.
3 days. And the
Just
first
like, we're just
night
trying
we
to
got her
get your
home.
order
I
started
remember
in
she was like
case you ever
crying for
come
like
here
6
one day.
hours. And you're like delirious and confused. And I was like with
Have
my
you ever
wife, I was
been
like, wait,
to
we're
a
supposed to
Starbucks
shake
like
this baby.
inside?
Like
Like you go inside,
like,
there's like a
you
big
and your
long
spouse,
line,
and you guys
you'll
are
be
not
waiting,
talking to
and
each
they try
other.
to take your order
And
before you're
you
even
be
to
in
the
the house
front.
together.
Like
No
you'll be in the
kids,
back,
the
they're
house
like, what
is
do you
quiet.
want? You're like,
And you
I
just
would like
stay
to
on
wait
opposite
till I get
ends
right
and
in
you
front of
pass
you.
each other in the hallway.
Yeah, you know, when
That's like
you
the
see everybody
funniest
looked
part
at me
of it,
when you
'cause you
said
don't live
that.
in a
I didn't care
mansion,
for
you have
that.
one
So
hallway. And you just didn't
how
time it out
about
right.
we do it
and
like
you just
a
have to
regular
walk by
normal
each other
business,
like
you know?
strangers.
And you let
You're
me
like,
do
"Oh,
it right in
excuse
front
me."
of you.
Sorry. Yeah, no.
Starbucks is like waving cars
She'll be
down on the
watching
street.
TV. I'm like, ma'am, are you
Just be
watching
like, we're
this?
just trying
I
to
could
get
tell.
your
I
order
was gonna
started in
change
case
it
you ever
if
come
you
here
weren't
one day.
watching
It's not good.
Have you ever been to a Starbucks like inside? Like you go inside and there's like a big long line, and you'll be waiting, and they try to take your order before you're even to the front. Like you'll be in the back, they're like, what do you want? You're like, I would like to wait till I get right in front of you. Yeah, you know, when you see everybody looked at me when you said that, I didn't care for that. So how about we do it like a regular normal business, you know? And you let me do it right in front of you. Starbucks is like waving cars down on the street. Just be like, we're just trying to get your order started in case you ever come here one day.
Didn't they give you Barbie and Ken? They live in a little
Have you ever
house
been to a
together.
Starbucks like inside?
And
Like
that
you go
is where you
inside
learn
and there's like a
the
big long
drama
line,
you
and you'll be
get.
waiting, and they try to take your order before you're even to the front. Like you'll be in the back, they're like, what do you want? You're like, I would like to wait till I get right in front of you. Yeah, you know, when you see everybody looked at me when you said that, I didn't care for that. So how about we do it like a regular
Fake
normal
vacuum with your
business,
friends.
you know? And you let me
That
do
was
it right in
awesome.
front of you. Starbucks is
When I
like
see my
waving
wife
cars
vacuum
down
out,
on the
like she's
street.
living her
Just be like, we're just trying to
Answer
get
the
your order
real,
started in case
real
you ever
fat
come here one
cat.
day.
People point it out. You know,
Have you ever been to a
They walk
Starbucks
in, they're
like
like, man, that
inside? Like
cat's
you go
fat.
inside and there's like a big long
and it feels
line,
rude. You
and you'll
know,
be waiting,
like
and they try to
he
take
doesn't
your
speak English,
order
but we
before
do,
you're
so
even
maybe
to the
don't say
front.
that.
Like you'll be in the back, they're like, what do you want? You're like,
And they're
I
just,
would
you
like to
know,
wait
they're like,
till
what
I
are y'all
get right
feeding
in
this
front of
cat?
you.
You're like, oh, whatever you feed a cat, dude.
You know, when you
I don't
see
like
everybody
normal
looked at me when
cat
you said
food
that,
stuff.
I didn't care for
We
that.
pour a bowl,
So
and then they're like, well, y'all should do
how
something. Like,
about
what do you
we
think
do
we're
it
not
like a
doing?
regular normal business,
Do you think he has
know?
a gym
And you let me
membership
do
and we
it
don't
right in
drive
front of
him
you.
to the gym?
Starbucks is like waving
He's a
cars
cat.
down on
That's
the
his
street.
gym membership. He's
Just
a
like, we're just trying
cat.
to get your order started
I
in
watched
case
him
you ever
jump
come
from
here
the
one day.
ground on top of the refrigerator. That's like if I
Have you
jumped on
ever
top of a
been
school
to a
bus from
Starbucks
the
like
ground.
inside?
If I
Like you
did
go
that, you're not
inside
going to be
and
like,
there's
well,
like a
you
big
still
long
could
line,
lose a little
and you'll
bit,
be
you waiting and they try to take your
just keep
order.
doing what
before
you're doing.
you
I
get
also
to
feel
the
this
front.
is
Like you'll
a
be in the
good year
back,
to
like,
see
what do you
where your
want?
friends
You're like,
are at.
I
You
would
know,
like
like,
to
I
wait
got-
till I
you
get
wanna
right
be
in
in the
front of
middle.
you.
And I've got friends.
Yeah, you know
I
when
got friends
you said everybody looked at me
they
when you
take a
said that,
shower
I didn't
with
care
their
for
mask
that. So
They sleep with the
how
mask
about
on.
we
They have
do
a
it like a
hamster, and the
regular
hamster
normal
probably
business?
has it,
You
and
know,
they're trying
and
to
you let
live
me do
alone.
it right in
It's
front
just
of you.
them and the hamster.
Starbucks
And
is
I
like
also have
waving
friends
cars
that I don't
down on the
think have even
street.
heard about Coke.
Just be like, we're just trying to get the motor started in case you ever come here one day.
It looks like someone told them to try to go get it.
Have
That's
you
how
ever
they're
been
living.
to a Starbucks like inside? Like if you go inside and there's like a big long line,
I have a lot of
and you'll
friends,
be
too,
waiting,
that
and they try to
they
take
tell
your
me they already
order
had
before
it.
you're even to the
There's a
front.
big- they're like,
like
I
you'll be in
had
the
it.
back.
I
They're
had
like, what do you
fever.
want? You're like, I would like to
February,
wait till I
had
get
fever
right in
for
front
a
of you.
couple hours, so probably
Yeah,
had
you
it.
know, did you see how everybody looked at me when you said that?
I had
I
one
didn't care
friend
for
who told
that.
me he had it in 2015.
How about we do it like a regular normal business? You know,
Because I had
and you
it
let
in
me do it
2015.
right
I
in
was
front
the
of you.
first, and it just didn't catch on.
Starbucks is like
it has
waving
now.
cars down on the street.
We got Annie.
Just been like,
Annie
we're
was
trying to
getting
get
put
the
down.
order
She was
started
a
in case
hunting
you ever
dog.
come here one
She was
day.
terrible.
And she was bred to be a
Have you
hunting
ever
dog,
been
and she
to a
was just like
Starbucks like
misfit
inside?
toy.
Like if you go
They just
inside and
couldn't-
there's like a big long
didn't do
line,
it. And you'll be waiting, and they try to take your order
no
before you're
awareness
even to the
about
front.
like the
Like you'll be in the
senses
back,
that
they're like,
dogs
what do you
have.
want?
We
You're
had
like,
turkeys
I would like
in
to
our
wait till I
backyard
get
once,
right in
and I
front
let
of
her
you.
out to go chase these
Yeah,
turkeys.
you know, when you see
retired
everybody
hunting
looked at me
dog.
when you
She
said
did,
that,
that's
I didn't
fun.
care for that. So,
And we have very
how
normal
about we
backyards.
do it
It's
like
not
a
Yellowstone
regular
Park.
normal
You can
business?
see all of
you know,
it
and
at
you
all
let me do
times.
it right in front of you. I like push her out.
Starbucks is
and
like
she just
waving
pees
cars
and then
down on
comes
the
back in
street.
house.
Never sees the
Like, we're just
turkeys.
trying to get your order started in case you ever
They're
come
just
here
looking
one
at
day.
like, you didn't feel anything. Like nothing was going. Like I sensed it.
Have you ever
as a
been
human on
to a
the couch.
Starbucks like
I
inside?
thought
Like
there
you go
was turkeys
inside and
outside.
there's like
You
a
wanna
big
take
long
just one
line,
lap around,
and you'll
see
be
it?
waiting,
No?
and they try to
I
take
thought I
your
was gonna
order
breeze
before
through
you're even to the
security.
front.
But I got
Like
held
you'll be in
up
the back.
just
They're
'cause
like,
the
what do
guy
you
in
want?
front
You're
of
like,
me.
I would like to
He goes
wait
to the
till I
metal
get right in
detector,
front of you.
and it goes off. So they
Yeah,
asked me,
you know
like,
when
"Do have
you see
anything
everybody
metal
looked at
on
me
you?"
when you said that, I didn't
And,
care for that.
he goes
So
like, I have keys on me.
how
Keys.
about we do it like a regular normal
we thought he was
business?
gonna say, like,
you
his
know, and you let me
knee
do
or
it
hip,
right in
you know,
front of
just-
you.
Old people have metal in them
Starbucks
a
is
lot.
like waving
And
cars
he
down on the
goes,
street.
"Keys? You think
Just
that
be like,
would
we're
do
just
it?"
trying to
Like,
get
I
your order
think it would
started
be
in
the
case you ever
number
come
one
here
answer
one
on
day.
Family Feud of what would set a metal detector off.
Have you ever been to a Starbucks like inside? Like if you go
I told him, I was
inside
like,
and there's like a
"Look,
big
let's
long
try it
line,
with and
and
without
you'll be
it.
waiting,
I'd love
and they
to
try to
go.
take
You
your
know, maybe
order
they've been
before
lying
you're
to us
even
about
to the
this key.
front. Like you'll
On
be in the
a,
back, they're like, what do you want?
on a
You're like,
Saturn
I
note
would like to
of
wait
sorts.
till I get right in front of you.
We had to put our dog
you know
down
when you see everybody looked at me when you said that, I didn't
and,
care for that.
It's a tough thing to do, you know.
How
There was-
about we
nothing was
do it
wrong
like
with
a
her. I'm just
regular
really
normal
busy right
business?
now.
You know, and you let me
And-
do it right in front of you. Starbucks
She-
is
no,
like
she was very
waving
sick.
cars
That was a
down on the
joke.
street.
All right.
She was like, we're
That
just
was
trying
a
to
joke,
get your order
and she would've
started in
loved
case
that
you ever
joke.
come here one
So
day.
don't even worry about it.
That's the type
Have
of
you ever
humor
been
she had.
to a
She was
Starbucks like
rescue.
inside?
Like
Like
you
your
go inside
labradoodle
and there's like a
humor,
big long
all right?
line.
It's a
and
little
you'll be
darker.
waiting, and they try to take your
One was
order
in high
before you're
school.
even to the
I
front.
got pushed into a
like you'll be in the
wall
back.
head
They're like, what do
first.
you want? You're like,
And it took
I would
me
like to
3
wait
class
till I get
periods to
right in
figure
front of you.
out I had a concussion. That's
Yeah.
how much I was
You know
bringing
when
to the
you see
table.
everybody looked at me when you said that, I didn't care for that. So
I mean, 2 teachers didn't even
how
notice.
about we
And
do it like a regular
the third
normal
one was
business?
like, he wasn't
you
facing
know,
forward.
and you let me
That's
do
when I
it right in
realized.
front of you. Starbucks is like
He's one of
waving
the better
cars
facing
down on the
forwards I've
street.
ever had.
So like, we're just trying to get your order started in case you ever come here one day.
My biggest concussion was
Have you ever
when I
been
was
to a
12 years old.
Starbucks
I
like
fell down a
inside?
cliff.
Like if you go
Like,
inside
community
and there's like a
college
big long
is college,
line,
and they're like,
and you'll be
the
waiting,
toughest
and they
thing
try to
you
take
can
your
do.
order before you're even to the front.
We're gonna
Like you'll be in the
show
back,
you
they're like,
the
what do you
ropes
want? You're like,
around
I
town.
would like to
Kinda give you
wait
just
till
a
I get
lay
right in
of
front of you.
took
Yeah,
all
you know when
remedial
you see everybody
classes.
looked at me
I
when you
was
said
there
that, I didn't
1
care
year,
for that.
0
So
I was there the whole time.
how
Stop
about
it.
we do it like a
I
regular
took
normal
speech
business, you know, and you let me do it right in front of you.
In college.
Starbucks is like waving cars down on the street. Just be like, we're just trying to get your order started in case you ever come here one day. Have you ever been to a Starbucks like inside? Like if you go inside and there's like a big long line, and you'll be waiting, and they try to take your order before you're even to the front. Like you'll be in the back, they're like, what do you want? You're like, I would like to wait till I get right in front of you.
with no shirt on.
Yeah, you know when you see everybody looked at me when you said that, I didn't care for that.
None
So
of this is enough to not make
how
him say
about
it.
we
He's
do it like a
Olivia?
regular normal business?
I
You
turned,
know,
I
and you
covered
let
up,
me do
and I
it
was
right
like,
in
"What's
front
that?"
of you.
And he was like, "All right,
Starbucks is
honest
like
mistake." I
waving
was like,
cars
"God,
down
that
on the
makes worse
street.
than saying Olivia."
Just be like, we're just trying to get your order
I don't
started
know
in
who
case case you ever
offended
come here
more,
one
me
day.
or Olivia? I think we could both have a word with him.
Have you ever been
I'd
to a
love to meet
Starbucks
her,
like
so-
inside, like you go inside and there's like a big
everybody's
long
drunk,
line,
children,
and you'll be
adults,
waiting, and they try to
across the
take your
board.
order before you're even to
A
the
fight
front.
breaks out. You're
Like you'll be in the back,
fight.
you're like, what do you
I mean,
want?
you're
You're like,
sitting there,
I would
you
like
got
to
a
wait till I get
50-50
right in
shot
front of you.
on your side of the family.
Yeah, you know when you
We
see
get
everybody
over
looked at me
there,
when you said that. I didn't
100%
care for
our
that.
side.
So how about we do it
dad's
like a
aunt and
regular,
uncle,
normal business?
both
you
rolling
know?
around
And
on
let
the
me do
ground.
it right in front of you.
They're in their late 70s. He
Starbucks
wanted to
is
leave.
like
She
waving
did not.
cars down on the
So
street.
they thought, let's just
She's
handle
like,
it
we're
in
just trying to
front of
get
everybody.
your order started in case you ever
She's
come
on
here
top
one day.
of him. She punches him.
He then punches
Have you
her,
ever been
and you're
to a
like,
Starbucks
"Can't
like
do that."
inside, like you go inside and there's like
so
a
we
big
gotta
long
get them
line,
apart,
and
and
you'll
he
be
starts
waiting,
fighting
and they
us,
try to
and he's
take
a
your
pretty
order
good fighter.
before you're
All
even
right,
to the
he's
front.
punching women in public.
Like you'll be in the back, like,
You
what
don't
do you
think
want?
he's
You're
handled
like,
some dudes
I would
in
like
his
to wait
lifetime?
till I get right in front of you.
That ends the night.
You know, when you see everybody looked at me when you said that, I didn't care for that. So,
a good station.
how
My
about
mom,
we
my
do it
parents
like
get
a
older. So my
regular,
mom, we had her go
normal
pick up our daughter
business,
recently
you know?
at a
And
friend's
let me do
house,
it right in front
and
of
I
you.
texted her the address.
Starbucks is like
She drove to
waving
the wrong
cars
house.
down on the street.
So she knocked on the
Just be
door,
like, we're just
another
trying to get
grandmother
the order started in
answered.
case you
Well,
ever come
this
here
is
one
not
day.
good. This is like two dogs
Have you ever
seeing each other
been to
through
a
a
Starbucks
fence.
like inside? Like you go inside and there's like a big
They're
long
going to be
line,
there for a
and
while.
you'll be
you
waiting,
know?
and they try to
So
take your
my
order
mom,
before
she
you're
knocks
even
on the
to the
door.
front.
My mom goes, "Is
Like
my
you'll be in the back,
granddaughter
like,
in
what do you
there?"
want? You're like,
And that
I would
lady
like
goes,
to wait
"I have
until I get
3
right in front of you.
grandsons." So
Yeah, you
no
know, when you see
solution.
everybody looked at me when you said that. I
Just
didn't care
two
for
grandmothers.
that. So,
Just, do you have stuff? I have
how about
stuff
we
too.
do it like a regular, normal business? You know,
They
And you
talk
let me
for
do
30
it right in
minutes.
front
It's
of
a
you.
wrong door.
Starbucks is
I had to
like
go
waving
get my
cars
daughter,
down on
then
the
find
street.
my mom.
He's been like, we're just trying to. Our daughter still sleeps in our bed too, and parents don't like that when you say it. They're like, you got to keep them outside. Don't look at them. It's my fault. So we had a kid late in life. We have one kid, and so we're kind of hitting all the sites. And I would be when I get home, travel a bunch, and I get home, I'd want us to all sleep in the bed together. And I've kind of built up a habit now, and it's happening. So it's tough though because kids don't know how to sleep. I mean, she makes king bed feel like a twin. I mean, I'm on the edge. When I sleep alone in a hotel, I have to sleep with my head on the nightstand. It's the only way I know how to go to bed. She gets sideways, upside down. If you woke up upside down tomorrow, you would go to the hospital. She's also apparently going through menopause because she's the hottest human being that's ever lived. I mean, I'm freezing at night. She just kicks all the covers off, and you're like, yeah, no, you go ahead. It's your bed. We're lucky to be in it.
So in our neighborhood, we live in a cul-de-sac, which is very exciting because I grew up on a straight street, and I always dreamed of living in a cul-de-sac. You see them, and you're like, can you imagine being up in one of those? We do all the cul-de-sac stuff, you know, like if anybody comes down there, we're like, what are you doing down? Just any car, we're like, you better get out of our cul-de-sac. We take our trash out one of the days. I don't know the day, but it's a day. We do it. There is one day. I know we forgot to take it out a couple weeks ago. That stress could break up a family. All week was like, everybody eat out of your hands. We had friends over like, put your trash in your pockets, take it to your homes.